Cunha, your New Jersey real estate giant. I am here with my good attorney buddy, Joe Asterita. What's up, Joe?
How you doing, Pete? What's happening?
Hey, man. We're doing well. We're shooting this video on a Friday, so it's actually nice here in New Jersey. Great fall weather. And it's interesting. We didn't talk about this. I'll put you on the spot right off the bat. It's
Here we go.
well, yeah, there you go. Boom! You weren't expecting this. I'm not going to do this shit, but um, what are some things that you enjoy doing with you and your family in the fall? I just did a blog on like top 10 things to do, and I just want to see if you hit any of these things.
Yeah, like activities, family activities, that kind of thing. I mean, right now I'm still like in the throes of soccer with my kids.
Okay.
They play. My girls are eighth and ninth grade. They just finished up, their school soccer seasons, and now their travel seasons are continuing. And my older daughter, though, they kind of had an abbreviated season for the fall because at that age they start to, kids start to play for their school teams and other things
Right.
more often. And but my younger daughter is still full on in her travel season. So weekends are all about that. Typically, we're driving from here to Timbuktu, wherever we're going to these games.
Right.
But
So
we're all in. It's fun.
So let's throw this one out there. Have you carved a pumpkin this season?
I have not. My older daughter Julia, who's her birthday's in early October,
Right.
so she had some of her girlfriends over, and they just kind of carved a whole bunch of pumpkins. So we had a whole team of people decorating for us at a birthday party. The kids just did it all, so it was great. So we have like a whole bunch of pumpkins carved already.
See that you indirectly just you elevated yourself. Like I guess you're already at the meter was like 1,000. Now it's like at like 1,050. On a scale of 1 to 1,000 because my mother's name's Julia.
Oh, no kidding.
And I was literally with somebody yesterday, a lender in Red Bank, which is kind of funny because I think they're right down the street from you. And her name was Jane, and she was talking about how nobody has the name Jane anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like it goes in cycles. And I go, it's funny because I said to her, I go, my mother's name's Julia, and I'm seeing a lot of kids, like a lot of kids' girls' names are Julia. So it's like I think it's a classic, clean, like beautiful name. So I didn't know that your daughter's name was Julia. So
Well, it's funny you said Jane because my younger daughter, her middle name is Jane.
what's
Yeah.
her first?
Olivia.
Olivia. There you go. And just it's nice to see these comebacks in names. My daughter's name's Kira. Remember in the movie Ted, where he goes, "What was her name?" And he goes,
Yeah.
whatever was her. Was
Something
it
hyphenated with Lynn, right?
Yeah, was
Everything
it? He goes, "Yeah." So when we were coming up with names for my daughter, and she's gonna kill me. She's only 8, but if she ever watches this video, so Kira. My wife just kept saying, like, throwing out names every day when she was pregnant. I was like, can we just shelf this and like you just write down all the names? So I think I was like on the couch and she just started going through all the names. And I'm like, I love Kira. Kira Cunha. It sounded like a really clean, powerful name. So and then we got into this whole like, how do you spell it? Right.
Uh-huh. Well, you guys didn't have that book that's got like 10,000 different
No,
variations of every name possible.
no, that was not us. So I am, you know me, I kind of fly off the cuff. Somebody just gave me a compliment. They go, what I like about you is like you're not afraid to try different things, right?
Mm.
And I had this call with my coach the other week, and he was saying, until you get to a certain level, you're always tweaking. And then once you've kind of made it to that level, then it's all about just refining.
Mm.
Which is like just a minor kind of thing where it's like you've already kind of got rid of all the stuff that doesn't really work for you. And
Mm.
although it works, it just doesn't work for you as an individual. So listen, man, I appreciate you being on the call. You are like a wealth of information. I'm so happy to have you. I consider you a dear friend. Even though we've kind of only known each other for a short period of time.
Hmm.
For the people that are watching, where did you come from? I love making fun of people from Long Island. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah, born in Brooklyn. Moved from there when I was very, very young to Queens, and kept going east and found their way. I mostly grew up in Long Island on the South Shore in Nassau County.
All right, should we hold that against you or not?
Listen, it was a great place to live and grow up. It's just, Long Island's pretty isolated, like we were talking about. It's when you're trying to get anywhere else,
Right.
or to it, it's always a trek, and then, the highways and, to and from aren't all that great or open and uncongested, right? So that's usually the problem.
Right. And how did you? So, did you grow up on the whole Billy Joel kick, or did you actually listen to a little Bruce?
More Billy Joel and Bruce, although I appreciate some Springsteen, but it's yeah, definitely Billy Joel. I went to his one of his concerts at the Garden, he's on that mass streak of shows,
Right.
and it was just awesome. Like, he's still got it, man. He just crushes it. Yeah.
I forgot. Damn it! Now I'm dating myself. I remember I went to a Billy Joel concert up in Rhode Island, and I had just seen the Grateful Dead that same week, right? So I had all this excess stuff, and I was in college at the time. So in New York City, it wasn't even the Grateful Dead. It was the guitar player. Oh my god. For the Dead. Why am I blanking out on this?
Who are you talking about?
The Grateful Dead guitar player.
Oh, now I'm blanking.
This is so bad. We're recording.
Friday, right?
Hold on. This is gonna kill me.
What?
Jerry Garcia.
Right.
Wow. So
I remember that. Somehow ice cream popped into my head. Jerry Garcia ice cream, of all things.
So literally it was I think it was Halloween. So it was around this time of year because it was Halloween or whatever. And somebody invites me to go see Jerry Garcia at the Garden. I don't remember shit from that show, right? All I remember is that he played Werewolves of London. And it felt like he forgot all the words and just kept saying Werewolves of London, right? So it's like the next day I hop on a train, I head up to Rhode Island to go visit somebody, and they had tickets to Billy Joel. And it was like two such different experiences.
Yeah, I bet.
They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I thought we did this at every concert." So no, it's a favorite Billy Joel song.
Oh, that's tough. Pressure's a good song. That's then the whole scenes from an Italian restaurant is one of the best songs I think ever made or written. It's just fantastic. And it's funny, my kids enjoy it too, but they've seen me play that loud and just, even in the car, you just start pretend like you're playing piano, like they're okay, dad, okay, dad.
Right.
You can't help it. That comes on. You just wail. Right. It's great.
No. All right. So this is what I was going to put you on the spot. I know I've put you on the spot a few times. What's the last concert you've been to?
Last concert. Good question. What was the last one I went to? Last couple of years, we've been to a few. Trying to think, I was the most recent one. Oh, this is a little embarrassing. Went to Harry Styles with my girls. That's right. I forgot, at the Garden. That was maybe a month or two, like 2 months ago. I'm losing track of time, but yeah, that was pretty recent.
So Harry Styles, totally out of my wheelhouse, but what's that song, Watermelon? That's
but it's funny, I didn't really know much about him or anything else, so I went to the concert, and you recognize every single song that he plays and sings because it's on the radio and everywhere nonstop, and I never connected who that was him, but
So I'll give Harry Styles like because what's the band? I don't even know. He was from a boy band or something like that, and then
Couldn't even
there's
tell you.
One Direction or something like that. I don't know. You guys comment in the comments below about how bad I am with boy bands. Um, but I remember watching Harry Styles and randomly it was because I'm not a he was on somebody's show, Howard Stern's show, and I'm not a Howard Stern's guy at all.
Mm,
But I was like, I was looking for videos to watch with my daughter. Like that's something that we like to do: listen to music, dance, like just fun little stuff.
yeah.
Completely ad lib. And he was on Howard Stern. He was talking about his influences being like Pink Floyd. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he recorded an album because some of his rock gods had recorded an album there. And it was like,
Gotcha.
really good stuff. He's not just one of these commercialized like boy band guys. Hey, you look good, you can dance.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's funny you mentioned Stern, and we were talking about Springsteen a few minutes ago. I saw something that they're having an interview. Actually, it's like the first time ever. But Howard Stern's interviewing Springsteen. I think it might be on Halloween, if I'm not mistaken. It might be Monday.
See
Yeah.
how the world, I'm telling you, things, there's no coincidences here, so listen, let's talk about how we know each other. Obviously, I'm the real estate giant in New Jersey. And you're licensed in New Jersey. Are you licensed anywhere else or?
Yeah. I practice in New York too.
Okay. So, it's funny that you mentioned Long Island, but we call it the Brooklyn migration, right?
Oh yeah.
Brooklyn, Staten Island, New Jersey, and then where else is everybody moving to?
Moving to, I have a lot of clients who, during pandemic were getting out of Dodge, right? They're getting out of Brooklyn, they're getting out of Staten Island. They were heading mostly south. So there was a lot of migration to New Jersey, and I have a lot of clients heading to the Carolinas and Florida for sure. Right. Texas has become a relocation state that seemed to happen a lot more often than I had noticed in the past, at least. That's pretty much. I mean, I've had some clients, Arizona, the more, for the weather and that kind of thing, and a few West Coast, but that's pretty much what I've seen.
Yeah, no, it's fun because we were watching. I was just researching some stuff for us to talk about, and it's like you mentioned Texas. It used to be like everybody's going to Austin, and now Austin real estate market's going down.
Oh, is that right?
I'm still seeing a huge influx going to Houston and Dallas, right? So if I'll share a little real estate secret here to whoever's watching that's a realtor. There's a website called How Money Walks, and it literally you can punch up any county in America and you can see where people are moving from to that specific county and where they're leaving to, and it's New Jersey is interesting because I think the top 3 or 4 places are all in Florida, and then from Monmouth County they're moving down to Ocean County just because of affordability issues. So it's just kind of interesting. And what I like about working with you, it's a clean transaction. You have a great staff. I can always get a hold of you. One of the requirements is I need to be able to have your cell phone number. I don't want to be able to track you down, and
that phone, maybe.
Sorry to your daughters, but I will be calling you at 6 or 7 o'clock at night if I need to get in touch with you.
In this business, you gotta be that way, or you're just not gonna be able to do more than a couple of deals a month, right? And you have to,
right? Yeah. And I know you guys have unfortunately had some transitions at the law firm, et cetera. This will be kind of an opportunity for you to kind of talk about what some of the other your colleagues do at the law firm.
Sure. We handle other than real estate, we do a lot of transactional work. So we handle real estate purchase, sales, both residential and commercial.
Right.
We handle a lot of estate planning matters. So wills, trusts, estates, probate administration. So we do everything from simple, basic, will writing to complex trust planning, long-term care kind of planning, estate tax planning, all that kind of stuff. And generational wealth preservation, that kind of thing. And we have a lot of business work. So clients starting new businesses, incorporation, partnership agreements, commercial leasing, everything. A lot of my clients, I help them start their businesses, from scratch when they started from scratch, and have been their, advisor over the years through various ups and downs and everything in between. Those are the main, the main areas of our practice. In New York, we do a lot of settlement work as bank closing attorneys
Okay.
for a variety of banks too. So New Jersey, that's mostly handled by title companies. But in New York, the banks do use attorneys to close loans. So we close a lot of mortgage loans throughout the entire state.
Right.
Yeah, we're approved for maybe 70 banks or so on our list.
Right. And where's your offices located?
So my office in New York is in Staten Island.
Okay.
We're on South Avenue there. And my office in New Jersey is in Red Bank.
Right. And see, it's interesting because, like, when I was in college, one of my still a dear friend of mine, he was out of Staten Island, right? So this is why it's always so funny because we're like cats and dogs about the whole Billy Joel versus Bruce Springsteen. And oh, by the way, I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan. Like, I grew up on Depeche Mode and The Cure, right? So he's like, "Oh, you're from Jersey," and I'm like, okay, like. So one of the interesting parts is, like, just Staten Island kind of connections. We're doing a lot more. We're starting to get a little bit of traction, even though we're not licensed in New York. We're getting a lot of clients that are saying, "Hey, we're going to be selling our house, moving to Jersey. Whether it's Homedale, Colts Neck, Manalapan, like those sort of areas, Freehold even." And can you help us sell our house? And we have some really good partnerships, and it's just nice to know that you can handle the transaction on both ends. You just did one with our dear friend, what's his name, Rich. How do you pronounce his last name? I'm gonna butcher it. Nicola or
Nicolo. Yeah.
Nicolo, yeah. And he's kind of our Staten Island Brooklyn connection there. So it's he's been doing a great job just to get people here as they move south in their life at some point. So
yeah, he's a good guy. He knows what he's doing. We've done a lot of deals together. We do a lot of those simultaneous transactions. In fact, our firm originally, when I first started practicing 20 whatever years ago, we were based in Brooklyn, and I ultimately migrated the same way. But the funny part was I never lived in Staten Island. My office just kind of by default ended up there.
right.
My partner at the time used to travel in from Brooklyn, in from New Jersey, where he lived, all the way to Brooklyn. It's taking him 2 hours to get to work. It was before the cell phone and technology is what it is now,
Sure.
And he just pulled off, signed the lease, and said, "Hey, we're moving to Staten Island." I was a young kid. I was like, "What?" I don't know anything about Staten Island. Next thing I know, I had an office there. And the funny part was we were right in the middle of the migration for our clients. They're all leaving for Brooklyn, either stopping in Staten Island and buying there and selling in Brooklyn, or skipping over.
Right.
So over the years, the 20 whatever years, like I literally have helped clients move from Brooklyn, buy in Staten Island, sell in Staten Island, move to Jersey, and then beyond.
Right.
And it's kind of just been right in the whole center of it. It's just odd, it's interesting how it all just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah, and I never understood it. Early on in my career, I was over at Keller Williams, which had a lot of really good agents over there. I call it, like, none of us are there anymore. We either opened up brokerages or, like, a lot of agents go into EXP. And what was interesting is that I never understood it. Like, one of the top agents in, like, the Adele DeMoro offices, she just captured so much business from Staten Island because she's from Staten Island or Brooklyn. And yeah, I just didn't really kind of deal with West Monmouth at the time. And I was like, now she's, I think, licensed in Florida too. So she's capturing on all three places. I'm like, I don't know how you do it. It's I have partnerships all around. It's like I said, Rich. I just got off the phone with my good buddy John Ray down in Cape Coral. They got destroyed by Hurricane Ian. So we're making adjustments, but it's what I'm saying. You mentioned the estate and wills. That's another market that, when I tell you, I do a lot of volunteer work in that space, and I'll bring, like, an attorney with me, and I want you on board with one of these things. 70-year-old people, 80-year-old people don't have wills.
Yep.
Yeah, they have property, and it's going to be like such a, excuse my French, a clusterfuck.
Everybody comes out of the woodwork after someone passes on and there's money at stake. So it's
right.
Unfortunately, it happens all too often.
It's funny. There's a piece of property in Oceanport that just went on the market, grossly underpriced, but it's a knockdown. And I talked to the guy. He goes, "Yeah, it was on the market before for a couple of days. Then they found a will." So they took it off the market, and now it's officially on the market. So it's just like, oh, okay. And yeah, it's funny because I met the guy. I was like the first agent to see the house, and blood on his hand. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I had some trouble opening the door. I'm like, there you go.
Oh, jeez.
So you had to put a new lock on it and stuff like that because it was on the market. People want to see it, and it's crazy what people are doing, but it's an interesting connection because we do offer a lot in that estate and will planning. I don't know if you do it directly, but it's just trying to help out. I had somebody call me up. They're like, we want to sell the mother's house. And I'm like, well, she had passed away. I said, do you need help with clean outs and all this other stuff? And, do you want to get contractors in there? She literally about after 5 minutes goes, Pete, honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, oh, you want a cash offer? I can get you one of those too. So, but it's almost like the general contractor. Like sometimes when you have to wear that hat, you're not just the attorney. You recommend the lender or whatever it is. Obviously, the attorney, the home inspector, and everything else. And I'm like, it's just no. I don't just put a pole on your front yard. So.
Well, it's a testament to you. A lot of your clients trust you for that advice and referrals, like out to, you have somebody for this, do you have somebody for that? You have somebody for this. There's so many things, as come up,
right.
Not just in a real estate transaction, particularly if it's an estate matter, like you said, clean outs, who passed away and was a hoarder, and all that kind of stuff. We've dealt with a lot of those kind of things and are, right. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, and it's important. Like I live in Lincroft, you live in Middletown, right? And it's that there's a guy that bought a house around the corner. And he thought he got a really good deal until I saw the house completely demolished. Like they try to rehab it.
It didn't work out.
Yeah, so literally instead of just demolishing the whole thing from the get, they took it down to the studs, and then like what seemed like almost like a week later, it was like completely down to the foundation. And we're like, wow, that's a really beautiful house. I'm sure he's in for $1.1 million in a $900,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's $1.1 million in a $900,000 neighborhood now. But whatever,
Yeah.
we welcomed him and his family, and hopefully, they're loving it here in Lincroft. So
good stuff.
Yeah, man. So what's going on? I know that you're a baseball and football guy. Whether you're a Mets fan or a Yankees fan, neither one of our teams are in the World Series. So
yeah, that was kind of a bummer. Yeah. Just went out with such a whimper. I'm a Yankees fan, right? So that was tough. That was tough, but got past the Mets, and how far they went, and was able to razz my friends who were Mets fans. So it was something to it to celebrate, I guess.
It's the most interesting thing because it's the Yankees started off like blockbusters, and then the Mets got hot, and the Yankees sucked, and then during playoff times, everybody was wearing their Mets gear, and it's like being a fair weather Yankee fan, it's like I don't wear any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So they're in the World Series, and like as it seems like the Astros are our buzzsaw right now. So when the Yankees were in, I didn't see anybody wearing Mets gear. And then like I was at Taekwondo for my daughter the other day, and I saw a couple of people with Mets gear back on. It's like my neighbor says he's a Mets fan, and he's already in Islanders mode, so
right. He already moved on.
What do you mean baseball? So no, it's good stuff. All right, so what we talked about music, we talked a little bit about sports. Are you a golfer or anything like that? What do you like to do for fun?
I mean, I like to golf. I'm just not good. I'm just not good. I mean, to be honest, most of the golfing I do is typically at like an event or something like that, or a charity event, and you play scramble or whatever. But I used to play a lot more. I mean, I only started playing in my late 30s. So, just, went out with friends who kind of show, I picked up everybody else's bad habits probably, right? Because I never took lessons. Right. And that's how I learned how to play golf, but I had a lot of fun, and still do when I get out. Just, finding the time is tough.
Man, I got to tell you, I don't play golf. It's kind of like when somebody invites me out fishing, It's like like they want to go out like all day, and I'm just like, I can't do that. Are you kidding me? Like, I call a dear friend of mine because I know he's always out on the golf course as much as he can be, and it's like,
Mhm.
if I don't get him before 8 o'clock, like forget it. He's like, oh, I'll call you back.
Right,
I'm like, it makes him happy. And, that at
yeah.
the end of the day, it's somebody was asking me, I'm like, I've never worked harder in my life and I've never been happier. And, it's just kind of, I think that doing stuff like this, I think you mentioned it before we jumped on. It's like, it's kind of a break in the day.
Yeah.
You get to talk to somebody that you like I have so much respect and admiration for you. Just to, have you on this video is an honor. So it's appreciate it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you talking to me? Who's
Hold on, let me
here?
put my glasses back on. Like,
Right, right. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is a nice break. The pace, particularly in transactional work that we do, is like can be very high pace, particularly in real estate. Monday mornings and the end of the days on Fridays. Everybody wants to get their deals into review and get out of review before the weekend. So it's always fast paced, high intensity. So it's nice to pop off, take a break, fill here and there.
and I got to tell you, it's so we didn't coordinate this in any way, but you were talking about like just kind of Monday through Friday, right? It's like I'm hosting 2 open houses this weekend.
Mm.
It's going to be like we do these kind of super mega open houses where we neighbors, come out, especially with a Halloween theme and stuff like that.
Mhm.
We had originally done a 2 hour open house, and we had like 31 showings. Like
Right.
31 people come through. We had 3 offers. They were all strong. The deals didn't go through.
Hmm.
Right? I'm telling them, man, don't worry about it. We got a backup offer, right? It's like for whatever. Like one guy's like, my company might relocate me. I can't commit to this offer for like a month. I'm like, forget you. Like next time, like, you got a
Nice.
home. You didn't tell me about the home sale contingency. All right, next man up. The other guy found another house, and I was like, we're gonna have to do more open houses.
That wild.
Yeah,
Yeah, things have certainly changed a little bit, right?
yeah.
In the last few months. But then like there'll be another deal, and where there's 12 offers, and I'm parsing through them with clients, highest and best. Like, so yeah, it's interesting times. It's for sure.
Yeah, we so what it went to was somebody asked me a question. It goes, how long does a seller have to respond to an offer, right?
Okay.
And it was interesting because I host a mastermind on Friday mornings, and I asked the same question to like all these realtors that I'm friends with around
Mhm.
the country. And I guess in Colorado, like right in the contract, it says, you have to respond by this date, or else the offer is null and void. And I'm like, that's not New Jersey.
Oh.
I've had an offer in for 2 weeks. We're just waiting for this, the seller. We're off by probably about $5,000,
Mm.
and we're just waiting for him to come to terms with the fact that it's costing him $5,000 every month that he carries it, and it's at this point, we're not giving in to him. And, again, I get it. He feels like he's giving it away, and, it's my guy's cash, so he's not paying a premium. So it's,
Yeah, but we're seeing that more, right, on the buy side, like right
yeah,
now. Like the terms I'm seeing in deals are becoming much more neutral, right, than they
right.
had for sure. Although you still get, your here and there's where there's all sorts of stuff. I just had one that came in, I think maybe yesterday, that had waivers of everything in sight, so it's like,
Right.
okay. But it's definitely turning a bit, I think, for sure. The buyers are getting a little more power. For good time for first time home buyers, I think, despite the interest rates. You get a shot at actually landing a property, whereas in the past, if you were coming to a limited amount down or some other contingency, whatever you want to get looked at.
It's interesting. 2 points there. It's I heard somebody actually say that interest rates could possibly be 5% by mid fives by early as next summer, right? And again, nobody has a crystal ball. We don't
Yeah.
know. It's somebody's opinion, right? Some people are saying it could be 9% before the end of the year.
Mm.
I don't know. We know where they're at today. That's all we can go by, right?
Yeah.
So the interesting part is that there's all these different options that buyers do have, and like this is a great time to buy, right?
Mm.
People were paying 50,000 above ask, no questions asked, right? And it's now you can get a seller to pay down points that, you're like, all right, so it's part of the price, right? And you're getting something for you to cover you for the next 2 years. And we know that historically, like, the market always bounces back. We're going through a cycle right now. It's what's kind of shocked the market, in my opinion, is the speed more than the interest rates. It went from 3 to 7.5 in such a short period of time.
It was quick for sure. Yeah.
So, there's sticker shock. And this is what I tell people. It's like it went from 3 to 5 really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody hit the pause button. And they're like, well, it can go higher.
By the way.
And it did.
And it did. Here we are. Yeah.
Here we are. And, if it goes to 9, it's like the argument is like, what's the difference between 7 to 9 is not as much as 3 to 5. Right. I'm like, it's I'm a Dave Ramsey guy. If you didn't know that. And, Dave Ramsey, who's like the guru of really, really smart, wealthy people, the average guy that have money, he goes, poor people are focused on the interest rate. Rich people are focused on the price.
Yeah.
And it carries a lot of weight. Somebody brought that to my attention. I was like, you know what? He's right. So
really good point.
Yeah. So, Joe, how do people get in touch with you other than contacting me?
At the office is great. Could always call here. The numbers, 732-741-5800 in Jersey.
Right.
1-837-0-2900 in New York. My extension number is the same on both. It's 215.
Right.
Email is always great. A lot of what we do, moving things around quickly, electronically. It's joe@asteritalaw.com. Super simple.
Awesome. Yeah. And what are you dressing up as for Halloween other than having a glass of something in your hand?
I didn't end up putting together an outfit this year, but my wife and I, when we go to like party like that, we were going to for a while, we go all in. We went like as Jack Skelton and I forget the girl character's name. She got the stitches all around on her and stuff. Okay. We just go with the dome here, I just paint everything. It's like it's perfect.
Right. Uncle Fester.
Yeah, that's kind of what I look like. It was white with the crazy black smile going on. Sure. But how about you? You got any? Lined up?
I wish I had something good. I dress up basically whatever my kid puts me in. And like one of these go-to costumes is like I dress up as a French fry.
The dumbest one French fry?
No, like a McDonald's kind of French fry.
Yeah, okay.
And it's got this hoodie thing, right? And I don't even know what my wife has a similar, like it's like French fry and soda.
Mm-hmm.
So our neighbor has like, we do we live in a great neighborhood where, you just literally just toss candy on a table and then you go trick or treat with your kids or whatever. And, the candy's always gone by the time you get back.
Yep, same.
But somebody does a pretty nice job. They invite the whole neighborhood to their backyard and they all hang out. And it's like all the kids are dressed up, but the adults aren't. And here I show up with like a French fry outfit. Like I want to be like Jack Sparrow or like somebody like that. But whatever, it's for the kids. So
yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, but all right, man. Listen, I appreciate you, dude. I'm looking forward to a really good 2023. I know we're going to be doing a lot more. I know you and I had discussed doing some speaking engagements as well, so I'm going to hold you to it. All right.
So let's do it.
All right. Later, man. Be well.
Right. Be good.